You're watching Good Day New York from the most powerful name in local news, Fox 5 News.
Thank you, Inez. As we've been telling you this morning, the city is under a heightened sense of alert this 4th of July.
Even with added security, it's hard to erase the fears that something like the British bombing attempts could happen here. We're joined this morning by Juval Aviv, an international security and intelligence expert and the author of Staying Safe. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you very much for having me.
So when you think about what a fireworks display is, it's a bunch of people, strangers, coming together at night, expecting loud explosions.
That's right.
And yet we've never really had an incident on a 4th of July. You'd think that would be a real target for terrorists, is it?
Those kind of events are always a target. It's a lot of people gathered in one place. It's an easy target, relatively. But terrorists are not stupid. They know that this area is going to be secure. There's going to be a lot of police. New York City has done a marvelous job with the limited budgets they have. And I think the area is going to be safe. What we have to worry about is really side street, other parts of the city that won't have that kind of a coverage, police coverage today. And it's easy to put a truck bomb, as we did, as happened in London, and happens in Iraq or Israel on a weekly basis.
Do you ever sit back and wonder why more hasn't been done since 9/11? When you look at, for example, in London, the number of security cameras and surveillance that they have in place around that city, we have nothing here at all that even comes close to matching that.
Well, the way terrorists operate, they always try to do the next event much bigger than the one before. And how can they do something bigger than 9/11? I think it took them 3, 4 years, 5 years to realize they will not be able to do a hijacking again for a long time. Not because the security is so great in the airport, it's because they know that the passengers on board will not let it happen. They'll get up and fight. So very recently they have switched and realized what they do best in the last 50 years is truck bombing, suicide bombing in mass transportation. The beginning is in London, and that's what I feel that will happen here, because we are an open society, and it's so easy to do it.
And we've seen the bag searches on the subways and buses, but realistically, you can't do a full pat-down body cavity search of everybody, even on Amtrak, certainly on buses, which have stops every 2 blocks.
You can. I think one of the reasons that that things haven't happened is because they're training, they're trying to test their methods in Europe and London, and then once they're ready, they're going to adopt it here. What we have not done enough of is train the public. If I compare it to what has been done in Israel, what has been done in England, there are 90 million people who go to work every morning. 90 million pair of eyes that could be trained to report something unusual. Because police will never have enough policemen in every corner of a street. We don't have that kind of a manpower and budget. We need the public.
Could we argue, though, with the Fort Dix terror plot, we had a clerk at a electronics store being alerted to something and wondering if it wasn't suspicious and reporting it, and that's what led to eventually the breakdown of that plot.
Exactly. The same thing happened in London right now. A bouncer at a nightclub saw the first car, saw something unusual, called the police. It's the public who usually tips the police. If we train the public better...
We have our slogan, see something, say something, but you think we need to be further trained?
We need to do much more than we're doing, definitely, especially in New York.
Is the money and the manpower then being ill-spent if we're focusing so much attention on airport security when you contend that that is not what the next target will be? Should we then be shifting our resources?
Yes, we're fighting. America always fights the wars of yesterday. We're not thinking about the future. We're not preventing enough, we're reacting to things. And we need to switch that, and we need to figure out what will be the next attack. And we all know it's going to be mass transportation. It's not going to be the airport. So we need to switch budgets and manpower into mass transportation.
Juval Aviv, the author of Staying Safe, thank you so much for joining us this morning. We appreciate it.